Hello everyone, welcome to NPM Stack. My name is Bhushan and in this video I am going to talk about JavaScript array reduce method. I have noticed that lots of developers starting with JavaScript array find the array reduce method little bit confusing over other array methods like map or filter. So today we will explore this method in depth with 5 to 6 examples so that you will get clear understanding how it works. Also we will also debug code. Okay, so let's take a look what we are going to learn today. So first we will see what is array reduce method. After that we will work on some examples. The first example is like we have one array with some elements and we need to find some of that elements using reduce method. This is very simple example and we will achieve this using reduce method. Okay, so second example is we have array with some duplicate elements and in result what we want one object with key as that element in array and value as count of that element. Okay, so we will see how to achieve this using reduce method. We will also debug code. Okay, the third example is again we have one array with duplicate elements and we want like in output a array with unique elements. Okay, so the next example is we have array of arrays. Like in inner arrays we have some elements and in result what we want that all elements in inner arrays in a single array. It is called flattering. Okay, so we will see how to achieve this. After that we will work on one complex example. Here we have array of objects. Each object contains name of that employee and skill of that employee. Okay, and we have another object where we have name of that employee as a key and as a value salary of employee. And in result what we want one combined array where we have like in object we have name, skill, and we want salary of that employee also with respect to that employee. And if any employee don't have salary, then we will consider it as 0. Like see here, for Elena we don't have any salary here, see, so we are considering it as 0. So we will work on this example also. So let's take a look what is array reduce method. Okay, so array reduce method is used to reduce array to a single value. Single value can be new array, object, or any value also. Okay, we will take a look why it is like new array, object, or any other value. Okay, and the syntax of array reduce method is reduce method accept two parameters. The first parameter is callback function and the second parameter is initial value. This callback function also called reducer function. Okay, and callback function again accepts 4 parameters. The first parameter is accumulator, second parameter is current value, third is index, and fourth is array. The accumulator is also called storage because we are every time we are storing value in this accumulator. I will explain this. Okay, the current value is current value of array, like we are iterating this array and that current value is current value of that array. The index is index of that value in array. Okay, and the array is itself like on which we are performing reduce method. This index and array are optional but accumulator and current value are required. Okay, the second parameter in reduce method is initial value. It is also optional. If we don't provide this initial value for reduce method, then like the first value from array or first element from array gets assigned to this initial value. Okay, and see here, the initial value is the initial value of accumulator. This is important point. I will explain this. Okay, this initial value can be empty array, 0, empty object, or anything. We will discuss like why like it is empty array, empty object, or anything. Like we will assign this according to condition. Okay, so let's move toward our first example. Okay, let me switch to editor. Okay, let's create one file with name sum.js. Let me minimize this. Okay, so let's create one array with few elements like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we have to store result in some variable. So let's create one result variable to store result from that reduce method. Let's call this array reduce method. Okay, so first parameter is callback function, and the second parameter is initial value. Initial value. Okay, so in result, what we want, what is data type? Like it is number. Okay, so result we want like sum, it is number. So for now let's assign initial value as 0. I will tell you why we are assigning it 0 and what happen if we don't assign it. Okay, and let's create our callback function or reducer function. Okay, right now we want only two required parameter for this callback function. The first one is accumulator. I like to call it as like combined value, and the second parameter is current value. Okay, now let's create body for this function, and let's create one variable to hold sum of this combined value plus current value. Okay, now we need to return this. I will explain why we need to return this and what is the flow of this. Okay, for now let's log this result. Okay, let's save this and node file name sum.js. You can see we get 15 as sum. Okay, now let's debug this code. Let me add debugger here and let me run this with debug. Okay, what is file name? Sum.js. Okay, so here you can see what is combined value 0. As I told you, here you can see the initial value is assigned to the accumulator. Here you can see that initial value is assigned to that accumulator. Okay, so in first iteration this initial value get assigned to that accumulator, and after first iteration, like from second iteration, this return value get assigned to that accumulator. I will show you. Okay, now what is current value? The first value in array. Okay, now what is sum? Sum is 1. 0 plus 1. Okay, now we are returning this sum. Okay, so I told you that at first iteration the combined value is initial value itself, or that accumulator is initial value itself. But after first iteration, like from second iteration, this returned value get assigned to that accumulator. See here, let me step over. Okay, see here, this sum gets assigned to that accumulator, and the current value is second value now, this 2, and like that, like again this sum means like 2 plus 1 3, it is get assigned to that accumulator, and so that like we get result as 15. Let me remove debugger. Here you can see we get 15. Okay, so you are clear here, right? In the first iteration, the initial value of the reduce function is get assigned to the accumulator, but after first iteration, like from second iteration, the returned value get assigned here in accumulator. Okay, so it is called storage because we are storing this value in accumulator. So you are clear? Okay. Okay, so we can also like okay, see here, if we don't provide this initial value, we are not providing, and let me run with debugger node sum.js. Okay, if we don't provide this initial value in the reduce function, then first value of the array is assigned to that accumulator, and current value is second value in array, like 2. So it will start from second index, and the current value and the accumulator is like the first value if we don't provide that initial value. Okay, and we get same result here. See here, let me step over one, and okay, see here, now 3 will get assigned to this combined value as we get 3 as a sum, and the current value is now 3, so sum will be 6. See here, and this 6 will assign to that accumulator. See here. Okay, let me remove debugger, and you can see here we can also minimize this code because we are using normal function, but we can use arrow function here. Let me create arrow function. We need flat arrow here. Okay, here also we can here, instead of like assigning to some value, we can also return this from here. We don't want this return, and we are returning only single value, so we don't need this parenthesis also. We don't need this return keyword also. Perfect. So let me run this again without debugger. We will get same output. See here. Okay, now let's move toward our second example. Let me create one file, count.js. Okay, here we want to find count of each element in array. So let's create one. Sorry, it should be const array with some duplicate elements. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, so in result what we want data type as object with some key and value pair. So key will be like that value, and count will be like 1 is repeating 2 times here, and like that. Okay, so let's create one variable to hold that result. Result is equal to array dot reduce. Okay, let's create our callback function. Okay, and what should be the initial value now? In result, what data type we want? We want object. So initial value should be empty object here. Okay, and let's create our provide parameter to our function. The first parameter is combine, like accumulator, or we can call it as combine or combine value. I like to call it as combine now. And current, we don't want index and array. Okay, sorry, we have created normal function. So here what we want? Okay, we want key as that value in array, and value as count of this element. So we have to check if combine, okay, combine contains this current value. I will explain this code. Okay, if combine has this current value, then what we want to increase combine of current plus plus. Else what we want combine of current is equal to 1. Okay, sorry, and let's print this console dot log result. Okay, let's run without debug first. It should be count. Okay, so we have one error, cannot read property 2 of undefined. Okay, so see here why we get this error. We need to return this combine also, because let's debug this and let's see why we get this error. Okay, node count.js. See here, at start in the first iteration, this initial value get assigned to this accumulator, so empty array, and we don't have this current means 1. We don't have 1 in this object, so it is moving else block, and combine of that current is equal to 1. As we don't return this combine, so it is here, you can see here it is now added, but we don't return this, so it is now undefined, and we are checking that current value in undefined, so you get this error. See here, it is in some file, okay, with this error, so we need to return this, return combine, because from first iteration this return value get assigned to this accumulator. Now let's run without debugger first. Let me clear screen. Node count. See here, perfect. We get that object with key as element in array and value as that count. Now let's run with debugger. Okay, so combine is empty object now. Okay, and current is 1, so we don't have that current value in combine object, so it is in else block. And this, for this key current one get assigned to it. Okay, and we are returning this. Now combine is 1 as a key and 1 as value, and like that, like for 2 we don't have that 2 in this combine object, so like that it is then returning this. Okay, now the current is 1, but we have 1 in this combine. You can see here this key. Okay, so it is in if block, and we are just incrementing count of their value. So see here, we are returning this, and 1 has count 2, and like that it will give us like count of each element. Let me remove debugger. Okay, we can also use like a arrow function here, so you can use this. Okay, now our third example is unique.js. Okay, let me remove this file, and we can use this arrow here also. So let me copy this, and in result what we want array with some unique elements, so we don't want this key value pair. Okay, so let's create one variable. Sorry, it should be const result is equal to array dot reduce. Let's create our callback function with 2 value, combine and current. Let's create body for this function. Okay, and what should be like initial value now? So we want array, so it should be empty array, because we have to push elements in that combine, so it should be empty array. Okay, now let's create body for this. And okay, here we have to check if we don't have like current in this combine array. Like why combine is array? Because we have assigned this as empty array as initial value. Okay, so if we don't have like combine don't includes this current. Okay, if we don't have this element in combine, then we need to push this combine dot push this current. Okay, and we need to return this combine. Okay, let's print this console.log the result. Let me run without debugger first. It should be unique.js. Okay, perfect. We get that unique array with unique arrays. Now let's run with debugger. Node unique.js. Sorry, I didn't. Okay, so see here, now what is combine? Let me step over. What is the value of combine? It is empty array, because this initial get assigned to this accumulator. Now what is the current? Current is 1, and we don't have that 1 in this array, so now it is in if block and push this current value in combine, and we are returning this combine. So now it is get assigned to this combine. You can see here. So we don't have like 2. This current value is now 2. We don't have this 2 in combine. So we are pushing this, and then we are returning this. See here. Now what is current? Current is 1, and we have this current in combine. So it is not going in if block. See, it is directly returning. And now combine is 1, 2. Like that, it will get print unique values. Okay. Okay, let me remove this debugger. Okay, now the next example is flatter. We have to flatter this array. So let me create one file with flat.js now. And in input, what we want array of arrays. This is external array, and we want some inner array with some values. Let me add 1 2, and in next array 3 4 and 5 6, like that. Okay, and in result, what we want a single array with this all elements 1 2 3 and so that. So let's create one result variable, array dot reduce. Okay, now let's create one callback function or reducer function, and let's pass this combine and current. Create body for this function. Okay, and the initial value should be array now because we want array. Okay, so we can we want all elements in this single array, so we need to concat this. So we can say combine is equal to combine dot concat. We can concat multiple arrays using this concat method into single array. Okay, and let's current, and we need to return this also, combine. Okay, let's run this without debugger first. Node flat.js. Oh, sorry, I forgot to print this. Console.log and this result. Sorry. Okay, see here. We get all values from inner array in single array. So let's debug this. Node flat.js. Okay, now see here, combine is empty array and current is now that array, inner array is with value 1 2. So we are combining that current array with this empty array, combine. So in combine we get array with this 1 2 element, and we are returning. Now combine should be the array with value 1 2, and current should be like array with value 3 4. We are again then concatenating this value with this combine. So you can see here, now combine has 1 2 and 3 4, and then we are returning this, and like that we get all value in single array. We can also use spread operator here. So in combine we want each element from this current array. Okay, so this 3 dot like spread operator is used to get each element from this array, and we are then adding it into the combine. Okay, see here, we will get same output. See here, so we can use this, and you can use here like arrow function also. Okay, now let's work on our complex example. Let's create one file, emp.js. Okay, I have that data, so I will copy paste this here. Okay, now what in input what we have one employee data with array of object. We have in object we have name of employee and skill, and we have like salary object with employee salary. So in result what we want one array, something like that, and here also we want salary also, salary of employee. What is salary of clause? It is 78. Okay, so let's create one variable result to hold this value, and array dot reduce. Okay, Let's create our callback function here, and in callback function accumulator like combine and current, and let's create body. Now what should be like initial value? Empty array, because in result what we want array with these values. Okay, so let's create body, and in body, okay, we have to check if employee salary. See here, if employee salary have this current dot name. Okay, current dot name. I will explain this. We will debug this also. Then we have to add current dot salary. We are adding one dynamic property here. Okay, salary is equal to employee salary of current dot name. Okay, see here. Else what we want? Else if we don't have salary, then we want salary to be 0 for that employee. Okay, we can use ternary operator here, but for debugging I'm using this. Okay, and we need to push this current in combine dot push this current. Okay, and we need to return this also, this combine. Let me run this file. Okay, we need to print this also. Let me minimize this. Console.log result. Okay, let me print this. So node, it should be employee. Okay, we have one error, array.replace. Array is not defined, because see here, we have that employee data as array. So we need to add employee data here. Let me run this again. Okay, perfect. We get output with this salary as property in this object. Name, skill and salary. Okay, so let's debug this code so that you will get clear understanding here. Let me add debugger here. Let's debug this. Okay, let me maximize this. Okay, so clear screen, node emp.js. Okay, so see here, what is value of combine? Let me add debugger here also. This combine should be empty array, as initial value is empty array, and the current is that object with name clause and skill as React.js. And for employee salary, we have key as a clause. You can see here. So current dot name. So we have salary for clause. So we are adding one dynamic property in this current as salary. You can see now current have one property as salary also with this value from this salary object. Okay, this salary object. And then we are pushing this in this combine. Now combine is empty array, and we are pushing this, and then we are returning this combine. You can see here now combine have one employee with salary also. Okay, and like that we are then adding salary of each employee. But see here, one employee don't have salary. So see here, now current is Elena, and Elena don't have salary. In employee salary, we don't have salary for Elena, so we are assigning 0 here. See here, and then we are pushing this, returning this. So for Elena, salary 0. Okay, so see, we can use ternary operator here also. Instead of this, let's remove this else block also, and this one also. Okay, so current dot salary should be if we have employees salary, then employee salary else 0. And let's run this without debugging. See here, we get same output. You can use arrow function here also. should get same output here also. Sorry. Okay, perfect. Now one thing I forgot to mention, like, okay, here we can also provide my charging is down. Index and array. Okay, let's debug this, okay, so that you can get clear idea. Okay, see here, index is 0 and array is this whole array. Okay, so like that we can also use this index and array in this method. Okay, I am removing debugger. Okay, I think we are good here. Please do follow, subscribe and share this video. Thank you so much.